Welcome back to another On Respect and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And of course, it is a big episode of Friday Night Smackdown today because it is the last episode of Smackdown before WrestlePalooza this weekend. So obviously we've got the last builds to matches, including Cody v Drew and Brock v Cena, which is what opened up the show. We started things off with Brock Lesnar giving a promo, and let's face it, it escalated pretty fast, didn't it? After Michael Cole acted like he's going to go backstage, the Beast ended up coming out, picking up Cole and carrying him to the ring. When it ended like he might actually hurt Cole, Corey got in the ring and tried to plead with Lesnar not to do anything, but he just hit an F5 instead. He grabbed the camera and spoke to Cena, saying it's D-Day tomorrow, I'm coming for the head. He then proceeded to give Graves another F5. It definitely had the crowd's attention, but taking out an announcer who hasn't wrestled in years doesn't make him look unstoppable. He looked unhinged. That being said, it wasn't a bad segment. It was short and sweet and got to the point. Moving on into Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Alba Fire and Chelsea Green for the women's tag titles. The Queen and Green started for their teams, but Bliss tagged in after about 30 seconds for some double team spots. Fire helped Green bring Bliss into the corner so they could return a favour. The Miz joined commentary table during the break, and we returned to see Flair being yanked off the apron by Fire to avoid a tag from Bliss. When the Queen finally got the tag, she came in and started chopping everything in sight. A decent match with some fun moments, but the finish was pretty predictable. It wouldn't be the worst thing for them to dethrone a chance eventually, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Before we then got on to Fraxium, who came into the ring for the match, but they were immediately taken out by Breaker and Reed. Paul Heyman got in the ring with a mic, but he was giving a promo. Fraxium went after the man who attacked them. Nick Aldis came out and said in this show that when someone starts a fight, they have to finish it, so put them in a match that started, and we saw Braun just dominating Axiom. Fraxium got minimal offense. They had a short burst, but it was mostly the heels destroying them. Reed got the pin with the tsunami. It's too short for it to be anything special, but it definitely made the Bronze look like beasts. The Usos made an appearance on the big screen and taunted them. That's kind of all the bill we got. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Before or after a break, Nia Jax came to the ring. She gave a promo mocking the entire women's division and called herself the alpha female of the division. Tiffany Stratton came out for a rebuttal and said everyone is sick of Jax running her mouth and pretending she runs the division. Cargill came out and beat up a few officials before she was held back going to the ring to Jax. Aldis showed up and said there will be a triple threat the women's title next week, the three of them. This was a paint by numbers segment set up match, but at least Cargill got to hit a few people. As we then moved on to Sami Zayn defending his US title against Carmelo Hayes, with Miz on commentary excited. They started with a simple exchange of counters and takedowns while Hayes nailed a drop kick to take the champ off his feet. This made it feel competitive right away. Hayes hit a nice springboard leg drop as the show cut to a break. Melo kept control through the commercials, but Zayn began to make a comeback when we returned. Melo stayed in the fight, and the match lasted longer throughout another break. To nobody's surprise, Melo and Zayn put on a great show. They both known for their ability to have exciting performances, so putting them together was going to guarantee a good match. After a clean heartful battle, Zayn retained the title with the Blue Thunder Bomb, and surprisingly Miz didn't get involved at all. 7 out of 10. After a long video package for Cena v Lesnar, more contract signings happened with Cody and Drew. Rhodes reminded McIntyre that they won the tag titles exactly 15 years ago, but nobody's talking about it because the world doesn't revolve around them. McIntyre said all he wanted was a legit shot at the title with no interference, and he knows Rhodes is going to make that possible because he's a company man. The Scottish Warrior eventually attacked him and was about to kick him through the announce table again, but he changed his mind and said he was going to take what means the most to Rhodes away. A pretty tame segment, even if the crowd didn't seem too excited about it. Showing off air with McIntyre hitting Rhodes with a big boot and then stomping on his head. And overall SmackDown this week gets a 5 out of 10 from me. It really included one really good match and a couple were passable and a ton of filler for WrestlePalooza. WWE, I wouldn't say it's been the best build to such a big card, but at the same time there is lots to be interested in. 5 out of 10. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.